is The Taming of the Shrew versus 10 Things I Hate About You, an animated comparison. There are many differences in the play, so let's start with a few characters. In Shakespeare's play, there are both Gremio and Hortensio, who are both some of Bianca's suitors. But in 10 Things I Hate About You, they kind of combined them to make one character named Joey. They also took out Petruchio's servant Gremio. I'm not exactly sure why, although there is someone who follows Pat around in 10 Things I Hate About You, but he doesn't have a significant role. Because of the two very different eras, both cats are dressed very differently. In Shakespeare's play, she has a cap and gown when she goes to her sister Bianca's wedding dinner, and in the modern one, Kat is dressed with a crop top and she's actually wearing pants. Kate and Bianca's father is also very different in the play and in the film. In the play, he's very happy to see his daughters get married, while as in 10 Things I Hate About You, he's super overprotective and doesn't even want them to have boyfriends. Kate's speech at the end also does not convey the same meaning as it did in the play. In Shakespeare's play, Kate talks about how women should be faithful and serve their men, while in 10 Things About You, she's just upset that Patrick didn't call her after she left the prom, and how, in fact, she quote-unquote doesn't hate him at all. Another difference is the way names are used in the play. For example, in Shakespeare's play, Padua is the town in which the story takes place, while in the film, it's the name of the school they go to. Same with the use of Verona. Shakespeare uses it as Petruchio's hometown, whereas in the film, it's Patrick's last name. I'd say the biggest difference in the play was how Kat essentially got tamed. In Shakespeare's play, Petruchio tames Catherine like a falcon by starving her, depriving her of sleep, and abusing her. While in 10 Things I Hate About You, Patrick just kind of bugs her and follows her around until she finally gives him to him and eventually starts to like him, which in my opinion is much better than Shakespeare's method. Alright, now it's time for some similarities. One obvious similarity is the fact that Kate is still portrayed as a very nasty, mean girl who no one believes will ever get a man. Also, just like the play, as soon as Lucentio lays eyes on Bianca, he seems to instantly fall in love with her. Many of the guys also bet over to see who will end up wooing Bianca in the end. In the movie, there is word that Bianca is in need of a French tutor, almost just like how Cambio happens to be there to help tutor Bianca in Shakespeare's play. Joey also just happens to pay Patrick to go out with Catherine, just as how the suitors pay Petruchio to marry Kate. Overall, there are a fair bit of similarities and differences between Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew and 10 Things I Hate About You. Since it is a more modern film and it's not set towards the end of the 1500s, there are quite a few more differences than similarities. And although it's obviously not 100% accurate, I do believe 10 Things I Hate About You did a very good job of portraying a modern version of The Taming of the Shrew.